because I've signed up to my very first triathlon at the age of 40 and I'm going to take you along for the ride, literally. I'm someone who has never been on a road bike and has an irrational fear of deep water. As it stands, I'm currently 3 weeks out from a Spartan Beast, which is a 25k obstacle race, something that I've done for the past 5 years. So the run section, not worried about that. And actually it's a sprint, so the run section is only 3.5k, but I do live in the mountains, and so that's just going to be 3.5k of steep hills. So I've never been on a road bike, so not really a cyclist, don't even have a road bike. So that's going to be my first challenge, is to get a road bike that fits. I really don't want to have to spend money on one. We are currently undergoing house renovations, and who knows, I might hate this whole triathlon business and never want to get on a road bike again afterwards. So my plan is that I'm going to do it in the cheapest way possible. Next thing, I'm a pretty strong swimmer. I'm more of a head up, breaststroke, cruise around the pool and then sunbathe on the side of the pool type of swimmer these days. So I haven't done front crawl in quite a while, so that's going to take a little bit of work. I do have a rational fear of, we're going to say sharks. So in the sea it's sharks, but I'm doing this triathlon in the mountains, so it's going to be in a lake, but lakes have snakes and lake monsters at the bottom of them, right? So I need to get over my fear of like having things touching me when I'm swimming. I'm kind of excited. I really wanted to do this. I've just turned 40. I'm going to try new things, do different things, challenge myself to keep life fun, exciting, prove to myself that I can still do awesome things at any age. So maybe this will be the first of many. Maybe I'll never want to do it ever again. Who knows? Let's see. So I am on the week of where I'm finally starting my triathlon training. So I did my Spartan Beast just over a week ago. I've had a rest or deload week, but I'm ready to crack on with some training for my Spartan race. I've literally just had some cycling shorts arrived. I wanted to do something new, but triathlon requires a lot of kit. So I've also wanted to do this on the cheap. So I got these shorts because I do always suffer on a bike with a sore butt. So I've got these from Dare to Be. They've got some padded in the boutte, and they were reduced from 65 euros to 25 euros. So I did get those as a bit of a bargain. I have also borrowed this bike that I shall be using for the race. Now my plan is to train for the triathlon with 4 to 5 training sessions per week, which is a push for me and a little bit more than I would traditionally do, but we're going to go for a little bit of a challenge. And for my strength training, I'm going to be doing some of the Caroline Girvin app workouts because I'm incorporating that as part of a review of that I'm doing of her app. To tie that in with my triathlon training though, I'll probably switch out some of the cardio or HIIT sessions for some of my cardio training in terms of being on the bike, swimming or running. So that is the plan. Mushroom coffee has become my new pre-workout. I like it. I made it back. Helmet says it all. I definitely need a new helmet because on the way down it was like this. Doesn't sit my head right. But other than that, I quite enjoyed it. Downhill was a little bit scary. I need my friend to come and check my bike setup because although I taught spinning like 10 years ago, spinning and road biking a little bit different. So I'm about 2 weeks out from race day. I can't actually remember what I shared on the last video, but on the last time I went out with my friend on a bike. She's quite a keen cyclist, so she informed me that my bike didn't have enough gears to get up the hill that I'm going to have to get up on this race. So I've managed to source another bike, so I got this off a friend, managed to loan it, and then I bought myself some clipping cycling shoes. I got these off a Vinted for a tenner, which I was very happy with, but they are a little bit tight. It's my first time using clippings 2 weeks out from race. long hike run. 9% gradient. Oh, tough. I've got a few rides in the bag, feeling much better with my swimming, and generally really enjoying the training, enjoying the variety of the different disciplines. I haven't been running much, but we're kind of just going to hope that the running's going to come together on the day. I haven't practiced transitions or anything like that, but I'm just generally feeling fitter than I have done been in a very long time. I've not been following any training plan, I've kind of just been going with the flow, but I've been very intentional about maintaining my strength training, because one, it's important for midlife women to always remain strong, but two, strength training translates over to every other area of fitness. So the stronger you are, the more your endurance will improve. But it doesn't work the other way around. If you've got good endurance, it doesn't always translate well into being, strong as well. So it's important for me to maintain that. And even I've just been out on my longest bike ride, which was 3 hours, done about 55 kilometers. And I went out with my friend, like, you're keeping up and you've done absolutely amazing. And I've only been on a bike a few times. She's been cycling for years. Feeling really good about that. I did my longest swim this week and first swim in the lake. Now, I probably should have done a lake swim before now. Did panic a little bit when I first got in, so that's a key lesson, is when I go into the swim, really take it slow, because it takes me a while to get that breathing. Did freak out a little bit when you look down, it's a murky pond, and to get over my fear of deep water. It's quite nice because I had my kids on the paddleboard next to me, safety crew. So all in all, week out, feeling good. So I'm going to taper the training down a little bit. So I've just done a big ride today, which is Saturday, and the race is next Saturday. I'm going to have a rest day tomorrow. I'm going to train legs on Monday. Might try and get one more easy swim in, and then maybe a gentle full body strength session. It should be good to go. I have been having a niggle in this shoulder, also in my elbow. I think it's just with the swim and the pull, and maybe just increasing my training on the swimming a little bit too quickly. It's nothing too bad. I think it's going to be manageable. I'm using lots of YouTube videos. The Global Triathlon Network, brilliant resource, because I still don't really know what I'm doing. We're just winging it. I'm just not going in with any intentions on the first one. I just want to get to the end. Up pretty early, starting the day, matcha tea, and we have some eggs on toast, so I'm talking quietly because everyone's still in bed. It's about 7 o'clock. Got to be there just before 9 to drop the bikes off, set up station 1, but we're not actually racing till 11, so I do still have time to have a good hearty breakfast, because there's plenty of time for it to digest. Fueling up, I'm gonna just sit. I'm gonna do a little run the race through my mind, the power of visualization, remaining calm. Slept pretty well, considering it was really hot last night and I was absolutely sweating. But the forecast for today was stormy, but looking outside, well, it might not be, so fingers crossed. Good weather, not too hot though. It's been very hot. Don't want it to be hot today. Let's go. Just waiting for my friend to come and pick me up. Excuse the mess in the gym, but I've got my tri-suit on, but I decided not to put it on because I've been to the toilet about 20 times, not gonna lie. I'm really freaking nervous, mainly about swimming in the lake. So I've got my bike, got my bag, flip-flops are on. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty nervous. To calm myself, maybe I got up a little bit too early because I had too much time to faff about and think about stuff. This is it though, there's nothing else we can do now. So here we are, race day. We started out the day, the sun was shining, it looked like the weather was going to be great, but it swiftly turned downhill. We put our bikes into the transition space. And then actually quite early on, we had to get rid of all of our kit because it had to be getting taken up to transition 2. So for a long time, we were just walking around in our tri-suits. And then by this point, it started raining and the weather came in. So we were just focused on keeping warm, feeling pretty insecure about, or felt like I was naked in this thing, and realizing that everybody else was wearing wetsuits. But the water wasn't too cold, so I was quite happy that I didn't have a wetsuit on because it was just one less thing that I had to worry about. And we did a floating start. So we started out by the orange buoy. So you had to tread water for a few minutes. One of the tips that I was given, if you're not going to be going to like your best time, just hang out near the back, let all the fast swimmers get out of the way. And that was a really great tip because it really took the pressure off, that I could just go off my own pace, because I know that I wanted to get that steady start, as I sometimes panic when I go in swimming, trying to find my rhythm with my breathing. So I was really happy with how the swim ended up. I was about 18 minutes in the end, and that's probably my fastest time I'd ever done the 750 meters. So I was really happy with that. It was then time to get on the bike, head off, got my feet clipped in, and sorry about the shaky footage. This is my 9-year-old videoing me and following me along. Bless him. The shouts and cheers from everyone literally made everything. But the bike was really the area that I felt I let myself down. I was frustrated with, because I was kind of middle of the pack as I came out of the water. But it was when I was on the bike, I literally just felt like everybody was constantly overtaking me, and I was working hard, pushing hard, trying my hardest to keep up with people, but I just didn't have enough time on the bike before the race. So we learn from these experiences, and I definitely want to be focusing on my cycling for when I do my next race. So then coming into transition number 2, so I've gone a fair few meters of elevation. It was basically all uphill, so at this point my legs were very wobbly. I thought I was going to fall over at this point. And as I came into transition 2, I was very grateful that I was doing this in my hometown or home area, and there was volunteers that I knew, and there was the wonderful Rosie showing me exactly where my spot was, giving me the most amazing motivational pep talk, and I really appreciated that. And I get that not everybody has that, but there were also volunteers on course who recognized me and were shouting my name as I went round, and that was just such a great boost. Having people around you is absolutely everything. I had my family on the side as well. Here on transition 2, another huge mistake. I got my trainers out and I'd left them double knotted, so I had to sit down and untie the knots from my shoelaces. That is just such a rookie error. You need to have everything prepared, and there's a lot of lessons that I'm going to be taking forward, and I've actually done an accompanying blog post on this where I've highlighted some of the key lessons that I would definitely do going forward. I would look at more triathlon specific gear for trainers, and even my cycling shoes as well for when I go into the next race. But this was very much about doing triathlon on a budget, so I worked with what I had. But yeah, my transitions could have been so much faster. I could have taken a good few minutes off each of these stations. Again, we live and learn. I got there in the end. Was pretty pleased with how I went into the run after a disappointing cycle. By the run phase of the course, it was pouring it down. It was cold. I was going very slow at this stage. There was been a lot of hills, so I was just kind of chugging along. But I felt, because I'd done some running training for my previous Spartan, I just had the legs to keep it on going. So I picked up a little bit of pace on the run at the end, as you can see, absolutely pouring it down. Didn't mind the rain too much because it's fine when you're moving. But after we started out with such gorgeous weather, it was a bit disappointing to be absolutely sodden, but made it to the finish line in 2 hours and 18 minutes. So overall, I definitely think there are lots of areas for improvement, but I'm proud of myself for my first triathlon. I know what I need to work on from next time. And yes, there will definitely be a next time, because I thoroughly enjoyed training for this. I've enjoyed learning and doing new things, and always pushing myself to see what I can just be capable of, even though I look like completely exhausted here. I definitely did enjoy it.